Hello, you beautiful people. I think all of us just collectively saw the drip marketing for Hysilens, and if you haven't seen it yet, check out the community post of my channel because by the time you're watching this video, I would have definitely posted her entire drip marketing there. So, I'm guessing that by now, you've definitely seen her drip marketing and you're probably interested in her kit and her playstyle, right? Well, in this video, I'm mainly going to discuss all the info that you're curious about, like her preliminary kit, her overall playstyle, and whether she will be the savior of DOT or not. Before we begin though, I do this kind of thing whenever a new drip marketing is released, and continuing the custom, I want to ask you guys, how do you feel about her design and her overall drip marketing? Personally, I like her design a lot, and I mean really a lot, and her drip marketing is one of the prettiest ones in my humble opinion. If you're planning to pull for any of the new characters though, you might want to check out Lubar because on this site you can save up to a total of 25% on all your purchases. To give an example, I'll buy this 3280 Oniric Shard pack for $43, and this same pack costs me about $50 from the in-game shop. You can see that it's cheaper, right? For the top-up process, just enter your UID in this box and choose your respective server, depending on your account. After waiting for a few minutes, I received my Jades with the double top-up bonus because it was my first purchase. If you use my link, which is in the description or the pinned comment though, you can get an extra 10% off on top of all the other discounts. Also, other than HSR, you can top up on Genshin as well using Lubar, and both of these games have quite a lot of 5-star reviews. Also, keep in mind the usual disclaimer that the kit which I'm going to discuss in this video is based on early info, and it can be changed at any point of time because it's not set in stone, so take all this info with a grain of salt. With that being said, let's begin without wasting any more of your time or energy. Okay, starting off, Hysilens is going to be a physical type unit following the path of nihility, and her kit is going to be based around the DOT playstyle. Honestly saying, Hysilens might be the savior of DOT because unlike the last attempt at reviving this forgotten and rotting playstyle, I actually think she has a decent chance of achieving this as her kit seemingly fixes a lot of DOT's underlying issues completely. Alright, I think rather than hearing me glazing Hysilens, you would probably prefer to hear the info about her kit, and let's move on to take a look at exactly that. So basically, at her core, her kit is going to revolve around applying the bleed DOT to the enemies, which is the DOT for the physical type units, and other than that, she would also have a ton of DOT-based utilities. First of all, if we go by the current info, Hysilens literally fulfills the role of both Kafka and Black Swan, where she combines Kafka's detonation and heavy buffs along with Black Swan's consistent DOT damage and application. This basically sounds like a dream kit for a DOT enjoyer, but don't worry and trust me, it only gets better from here. Coming to the second point, she is most likely going to have a transformative ultimate somewhat like Fei Xiao or Rappa, but right now, we don't really know what exactly it will do. I mean honestly, I already know that her ultimate is going to be insane because for some reason, all the transformative ultimates in HSR are really damn good. By the way, if anyone is curious about her release date, she is definitely going to be featured in the first half of the patch due to the drip marketing release order. And her limited banner will go live on August 13th for the Asia/Europe servers and August 12th for the America ones. I personally think that if you really want her on your account, you have all the time in the world to start saving for her because her banner is quite far away. What we discussed just now was some small stuff though, and now taking a look at her main mechanic, it's a tad bit broken because she basically gives you the ability to make DOT crit on enemies. Now I know that this mechanic might seem boring to some people, at least from what I've seen, but in my opinion, it's a decent try to bring DOT back into the meta. From what the source said, her mechanic is going to be similar to the Sin Thirster buff from Divergent Universe, which reads as following: characters' DOT can cause crit hits with its crit damage scaling going up to 2 times of the original damage, which basically means 100% crit damage. Now a question for you. Did you notice something really interesting about this particular buff? Well, this buff isn't stated to apply only to her own DOTs, which means that if her mechanic functions similarly to this buff, then she will give Kafka and Black Swan the ability to make their respective DOTs crit. This is kind of broken because it means that at 100% crit damage, it's a 2 times damage buff out of literally nowhere, and this is something that probably has all the DOT users salivating right now. Obviously though, her kit doesn't just magically end here, and our girl does have some other stuff going on for her as well. If we go forward into the future and take a look at the 3.4 memory of Chaos Turbulence, it gives us a tiny idea of what she does, because the MOC buff provides a DOT detonation after enemies are hit. Now I'd like to think that Hysilens would also do something similar, because as I mentioned before, she supposedly has Kafka-like abilities, which basically just guarantees her having a way to detonate DOT on enemies. It gets even better though, because if the detonation is based on the amount of times that you have to hit the enemies, then it would synergize perfectly with her DOT teammates. I think by now, we all know that HSR's meta keeps cycling from single target to blast AOE, depending on the new featured character and their playstyle, right? Well, to counter and save DOT from falling out of the meta again, Hysilens is supposedly going to have both single target and AOE abilities. You might be thinking that this is not as useful as I'm making it out to be, but honestly, instead of having equally spread damage, I believe she'll mostly have the stronger parts of her kit put into single target. This is most likely how her kit is going to turn out, and it's kind of ideal as well, because DOT teams tend to be really strong in AoE already. Now let's go back a bit, and by this point, you already know that her first main mechanic is really good, right? Now this carries on to her second mechanic as well, which is somewhat similar to Cypher's vulnerability mechanic, but based around DOT damage instead. In simpler words, I mean to say that whenever Hysilens is present on the field, all the enemies will be afflicted by all types of DOTs at the same time, and the best part is that this affliction is permanent. Okay, listen, at first glance, I know this might look kind of useless, but you have to consider that a lot of DOT-related mechanics are locked behind having multiple types of DOTs applied on the enemy. Like, for example, at the current moment, the Prisoner Relic set can only be fully activated if you have Kafka's Light Cone, and literally because of stuff like this, Hysilens having this passive DOT application would be insane. Well, there you go. That's basically everything we know about her kit right now. Overall, I genuinely do believe that she is the one character who will turn DOT into a meta staple team again, even at E0S0. I mean, we don't even have any info on all of her traces or her light cone for now, and I'm sure that all of those things will make her sound even better than she already does. I'm curious though, how do you feel about her preliminary kit? Personally, I have an alternate account specifically made for a DOT team, and I'm definitely pulling her there, no questions asked. Also, I didn't mention it before as it gets annoying, but if you liked the video, then do consider subscribing. With that being said, I want to say I love y'all, and I will see you in another one.